So how's it going, YouTube? On today's video I'm going to go over a few tips for the Honda Monkey. So here's a few things I want to share with all my other fellow Honda Monkey owners out there. Some of this stuff might be kind of obvious, but some of it might not be. So enjoy the video.
Alright, this first part of the video is probably common knowledge, but I went ahead and filmed it anyways just in case there's somebody out there that might be kind of confused as to how to take the side panel cover off to gain access to the toolkit that's behind it. Inside the toolkit is a 6mm Allen wrench that you'll need to perform a couple of things that I'll go over later. To open the side panel cover to gain access to the toolkit, take your key, stick it in the lock, turn it to the right, and while pulling on the cover, simply wiggle it back and forth until it pops loose. The whole thing is held in place by this plug, and this plug. To put it back on, pretty much just reverse the steps. While keeping your key turned to the right, line up the plugs and push it back into place. Once it's back into place, turn the key to the left and remove it, and that's it. On the back side of the cover, you'll find two black plastic clips holding the toolkit cover in place. In the center of the clips are buttons. Take your key and depress the buttons to release the clips, then grab the kit cover and lift it while pulling it down towards the bottom of the side cover. Next, pull both the clips out. You'll need to reset them in order to put the toolkit cover back in place later. Inside the cover, you'll find your owner's manual and the toolkit being held in place by a big black rubber band. To put the toolkit cover back on, you need to push the center of the button clips back out, but not that far. After you spend an hour searching and cussing and finally finding the tiny missile, go ahead and reinsert the little bastards back in their holes and push the center to lock them in place, where they'll no longer be a threat to your sanity. Inside the toolkit, you have a screwdriver, a fuse puller, a screwdriver handle, a helmet lock extension, and the 6mm Allen wrench we're going to need. When I bought my Monkey, one of the first things I did to it was to roll the handlebars forward in the clamps. What that did for me basically was provided a little bit more leg room when I'm turning my handlebars all the way to the right and all the way to the left, and it seemed like it just kind of improved the comfort of the ride just a little bit more. To reposition the handlebars, you're going to need to take these 4 plastic chrome caps off of the bolts that are holding the clamp in place. To remove the caps, simply take a knife or a razor blade, or in my case I used a small flathead precision screwdriver. Carefully, without scratching the paint, try to get the screwdriver down inside there and pop the caps off. They come out pretty easy. Once you have the caps off, take your 6mm Allen wrench that you found inside your toolkit and go ahead and loosen up all 4 of the bolts. I've already pre-loosened these just to kind of save time on the video. Once you've got them loose, you'll see that the handlebars will want to roll forward already, or backwards, depending on which way you're standing. In this next clip, I'll go ahead and demonstrate basically where the factory position of the handlebars were in comparison to where my leg is. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of room between my leg and the handlebars themselves. So what I did is I just went ahead and kind of rolled the handlebars forward, and what that did is provide me with a heck of a lot more room to turn the motorcycle, and it also basically, like I said before, it improved the ride comfort, and to me it felt like it kind of improved the handling a little bit too. Once you get the handlebars to a position where you feel it's comfortable, go ahead and re-snug the bolts back down with your 6mm Allen wrench. Now you can go ahead and make sure your handlebar bolts are tightened all the way back down. Use a cross pattern when you're tightening these things down. That helps to distribute the force and the clamping power on the clamp itself. Now you can go ahead and put the chrome plastic caps back on the bolts. They push in there pretty easy. Once you have all 4 of them in place, go ahead and give them a nice push to make sure they're snugly seated, and you're done.
Now this is for the guys out there who own the Honda Monkey that doesn't have ABS. This one does not apply to those with the ABS model. There's a fairly large storage compartment under the seat.
In order to get to that storage compartment, you're going to need to remove 2 bolts, one on each side of the bike, right directly underneath the front part of the seat itself. Go ahead and take your 6mm Allen wrench that you pulled out of your toolkit and loosen up both sides. Now remove the bolt and it should stick to the Allen wrench. Repeat the process on the other side of the bike. Next, to remove the seat, go ahead and tap on the front of it firmly and it should slide backwards and pop right off. As you can see from the photo here, it's actually a pretty large hole underneath the seat right there that's usually occupied by the ABS computer. Here's a 16-ounce bottle of water for size comparison. It's not completely weather sealed though. If you look down from a certain angle, you can see the bike's chain right down there. So if you're planning on putting anything in there of value, you might want to either put it in a plastic bag or maybe, close up that hole somehow. But I think in the future, I'm going to go ahead and look for maybe a small 16-ounce fuel bottle and keep it in there for longer trips, just in case I run out of gas. I'll always have that little bit of fuel as a backup. Since this little bike gets such good gas mileage, 16 ounces of fuel could take you quite a ways on a little bike like this. So that's just one idea for things to put underneath the seat in that little compartment. You could put like a little survival kit or, I don't know, a rape whistle or some crap. Who knows? It's up to you.
Next tip. Now this one was brought to my attention, not personally, but it came to my attention from watching a video by a YouTube user, or a YouTube creator, sorry. His name is John5XR. I'm sorry if I butchered that in any shape, form, or way. I was watching some of his videos before I bought my monkey, and he showed the screws on the headlight bucket tend to work their way loose. So that's something you're going to want to take care of before it becomes a problem.
To fix this, you're going to need to access 2 screws, one on either side of the headlight bucket, one on the left and one on the right. Now to fix this, simply take a screwdriver and remove the screw. Next, just take a little bit of blue Loctite, and it doesn't take much. I've already done that to this bike, but I'm removing the screw and just intend to do it all over again just for demonstration purposes. Just add a little dab of the blue Loctite on the end of the screw right here. And then once you have a little bit of Loctite on there, go ahead and twist it back into place. And then go ahead and retighten it up. And then simply repeat the process for the other side, and that should take care of this before it becomes a problem. I don't know if Honda's going to issue a recall on it. I don't think it's necessary myself. Just go ahead and Loctite these screws, that way the headlight bucket doesn't vibrate its way loose and end up becoming a problem somewhere down the road.
So those are just a few tips that I put together in this little video. I hope it helps somebody out. 1 or 2 people, 100 people, doesn't matter. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. So from a 15-mile-an-hour bump, ride safe. Have a good day.